There we go. That's not good. That's my guitar here right there. That right there, that is my guitar. Wait. Yep, that's my guitar, yeah. My God. I'm recording this in the closet because, on the audios and stuff, I did a test, and my younger brother's, like, playing VR and stuff. That's besides the point. I just wanted to talk about coding and why I think a lot of people don't. I'm gonna try to make this quick, but also, you know, long. It's probably gonna be long enough to be a long form video, which is why it's sideways. Also, people on shorts just aren't gonna watch this. So yeah, the reason why I think a lot of people don't like coding is because it's really ultra specific. Now, I myself, coding currently is like pretty much my favorite class, if not my favorite class. I'm not entirely sure yet, but coding's a lot of fun for me. I'm ahead of everyone else. You know, it just happens, but most people don't like coding. Like I said earlier, specific, like your code, literally you could have Fortnite coded in JavaScript, which is what I'm learning, probably the easiest to learn. You got a Fortnite, but new sprite isn't, you know, or whatever, like create new sprite, the word sprite isn't capitalized. And, or, you know, the first letter of the word sprite isn't capitalized, meaning that just it won't run. And that is really annoying for a lot of people. A lot of people don't realize that the error message will read down the line in every function. This is mainly for people that already know a little bit about coding. So if you don't know what coding is, I'm going to use coding terms. I already have. And I might talk about this more when I learn more on coding, because I haven't really learned that much yet. But the latest thing that I learned was like booleans and if statements and stuff like that. So, yeah, we're almost at 3 minutes. Let's go. No, yeah, booleans and if statements, that's where I'm at. And, where was I? Oh my God, where was I? I'm blanking. Well, I'm just gonna say this. I forgot where I was. But when I learn something, it's easy for me to okay, now we go here, and that's that, and that all has parentheses, and a lot of people forget, or sorry, not the parentheses, the semicolons at the end of most lines. And it's just because it doesn't really affect it, but it technically kind of matters. And there's just a lot of really specific stuff that can be annoying, and I do get like annoyed while coding, but I really like doing coding. It's in it of itself. It's fun for me to like, oh, I did that. That's so cool. I made that. And a lot of people just don't get it. They just, oh, I could just look it up and do it. And a lot of people, you know, someone else can always do it. But I'm not someone else or something, maybe. I don't know. I've wanted to be like, I think like something to do with space. That's still an option. Not really sure yet, but there's more stuff on the table, which is why I don't really like, this is going to be another thing that I'm getting into. I'm kind of getting sidetracked, but I need to get this out there. I don't like the, how schools do a lot of things. One of them just being related to this part, just because otherwise it's going to be random. The reason why I probably didn't go to like the tech ed or whatever, I might have gone. I don't know. But I went into SMA, which is just like math or science and math academy. But I could have done like tech ed or something different. That's pretty much a school, but it has more technology options in SMA, the school that I'm going to now. I mean, it is the hardest. It has the hardest everything, but it doesn't really have coding. So, but because of the fact that of how my school does it, you have to get it done way before the end of the school year. And, my fourth quarter was far before I had to have it, like, done, and I had to take the test to get into that thing. And I'm putting that down. It's gonna be, it could make a noise on the recording. I don't want it to be annoying. No. So, like, a lot of kids will find out that they like doing this from this thing, but it's too late, so they can't actually do it, which sucks. Because we're talking about the rest of our lives here, and, like, what job we're having. And I know it's just middle school, but, you know, I wish something else would really determine that would make way more logical sense, at least. What my thing is, this is, you know, kind of done talking about coding. I might finish talking about that in a different day. But, yeah. With the school system, what I think is you could, for colleges and middle schools and high schools and stuff like that, mostly, for my case, just like middle schools, would be like a week of most classes, like this week, or all the weeks at once. You go to all these classes like normal school, but it's just a week, and you're just like that first week of school already where you're just kind of getting into it, and you really get a look at whether or not you like it. Of course, you can change your mind within like the first month or something, but it's just like a week before schooling, and I know people would hate this, or maybe the first week of schooling. That's what I would like. Or something like that. Because it's just a week of schooling. We don't need every week. And we could, you know, it's just like a demo. It's just like, do you want to purchase this app, or like a, free trial? And you get to see whether or not you would actually like to do that class. And other than like the big classes, like obviously I really don't like history and reading classes. I like reading, I mean, mainly just writing, because I love to see how I improve on that. Even without taking an actual writing class, I've improved a lot of that, just because I've changed and learned more stuff. But, yeah. In history, there isn't really anything that you can get better at. You're just kind of learning through the time, so you're pretty much where everyone else is. And it's normally really slow and fast at the same time. I might get into that at a different day, but I don't know. I don't know. I might talk about it. I'm gonna talk about it now, because I kind of forgot what it was. If I remember, hold on. If I remember it, I'm gonna talk about it, because I kind of forgot what it was. I don't know. I want to talk about stuff. Yeah, I'll just go back to coding, I guess. Because people don't like it, because most people don't like reading, and that's kind of an addition of reading and math. But I'd say that's science, even though I don't like reading, but I kind of like math just because I'm inherently good at math. I like science, and science is, at least right now, a lot of fun, just because you do a lot of stuff. But coding could be like a type of science, because technically the class isn't called coding, it's called computer science. So, like, maybe now that I think about it, maybe the SMA thing that I'm going to is the right choice, just because it's computer science, and it's math and science, or science and math. I like saying math and science better. I'm gonna talk about, hold on. I just thought about this randomly. I'm going to talk about this as well in a video if I ever rewatch this because I kind of run out of video ideas. I'm just going to talk about these things. And I'm just going to put it in the description. I'll watch this. We'll watch this when you're out of video ideas because I put stuff in here. But, yeah, the colors of the classes and stuff like that, and what they, like, which one's that. I'll get into that another day, but, yeah. No, a lot of people don't like it because it's like reading, but it's also hard for them to understand. And a lot of people, when they see an error message, they're like, "Oh, I'm so bad at this. I have no clue. I'm never gonna get good at it," and stuff like that. But it's often that's happened just because I haven't like put in any variable for like a sprite or something color, and then didn't put the color in, and it just won't run the code. It will say error here, and then it'll give you row and number of characters in, and that's the error message, and that's all you have to look for. It's a red thing. The bar itself is red. I actually think that's in itself is a good system, but in addition to that, you could have it so that like the character that's unexpected, like it says unexpected token usually, which a lot of people don't get that because it uses like unusual words like boolean that I was talking about earlier, or it has to be this, but a lot of stuff is made really easy so that you don't have to individually go through and code everything, and that'd be really difficult. And so P5 Play is kind of confusing just because it's like, if there isn't anything, then obviously if I just type stuff, it's like if I type an essay, it's not going to do anything on the code. But if I type these specific things, it does that just because it already knows that. So what's the point of having P5 Play being things that it knows? But it's kind of different. So you don't have to individually identify every single thing. It can just be like a word where it's like dot color, and it's like it knows, okay, here's the color, and you type in the parentheses blue. It knows that. You don't have to type in the color profile for blue because it already knows like what blue is. That's P5 Play. Without it, you'd have to go into like a color selector or something and type in or just copy and paste the code. A lot of people can't really wrap their head around it and don't really want to try and get it wrong over and over and over again until they see what's right. And even those people will literally never get into coding just because they literally don't want to do the fixing part of coding, which is like 95% of actual coding. The 5% is your finished product, finishing it up, just adding these touches. But most of it's, okay, this is an error, this is an error, this is an error, fix it. Or like, you know, doing this, adding this, learning this, adding that. And almost every step, there will be so many error messages, but that's a good thing if it's differing, because you're getting somewhere. You gotta try to think everything. Just try it once. It's only okay. Just do this. Okay, run. Okay, yeah, that works. Or even if it doesn't work, you know, because that's a lot of my errors in coding. It's just, oh, well, it might be that, but it's not gonna be that, so I'm just gonna do this and this and this, and it doesn't work, and then, you know, maybe I guess I do that, and then it works. So, if you're in coding or about to do coding, just, I don't know, just try it. Most people aren't gonna see this. I know there's gonna be a couple viewers that'll see this just because my long-form videos now are getting like 40 views something. So that's pretty much it today. We're at 15 minutes, and Bye, I guess. You know what? Closet reveal at 200 subscribers. How about that? We're 8 subscribers away. Road to 200. Bye.